Hello, everybody. We are back. Yes, we are back. We are live. Now, if you joined us yesterday, then you know that Sylvia and we had a good time. We talked about all things Hollywood and writing, right? You've written that script. Now what? And we
Hmm.
just had so much fun. We actually went longer than we had anticipated. So we are back for day two because we had so much to talk about. So
Hmm.
our running mouths. Now this is your game. So today we are actually talking, answering some of the questions that we had some viewers who watched yesterday's live stream and they just had some questions. So we're going to provide some answers to that. And we're also talking about what nobody tells you about breaking into TV and film. Now, we all know you can take writing classes, you can read books, you can learn from the so called gurus on the internet, because we know there's always a bunch of those, right? You can watch
Hmm.
videos and all about screenwriting and all of that. But where are you going to get to learn from somebody who not only teaches this and has, been shoulder to shoulder with the people in the industry, but she has actually lived it. And that is what we are talking about tonight. Sylvia's going to share some of her experience. So, in case you don't know who she is, let me just give you a little bit of an intro about my girl, Sylvia L. Jones. Sylvia is an Emmy Award winning Hollywood writer and producer, and proud to say she is my friend and my client. And she has got credits out the wazoo, including, now y'all check this out, The Shy. And she was on there from day one. She ain't just come up on The Shy. Everybody's now talking about The Shy. No, she was writing on the first season. She's written for Power Book 4, Force, Pearson. She's worked with Ava DuVernay. She's done NBC, The Endgame. And of course, we all know the Clark Sisters, First Ladies of Gospel, which was all the rage when it aired on Lifetime. So she's got some heavy, heavy credit. So welcome, welcome, Sylvia. Welcome back, I
Thank
should say.
you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, we love Sylvia's story. So we're going to dive right in because her story has just been so inspirational. But again, we're not just doing this because we want to inspire you. We're doing this because we want you to see your own potential and see
Hmm.
yourself in Sylvia's story. So Sylvia, let me just start by, let's just jump in, right? When you look
Sure.
back at your journey, what do you know now that you wish somebody had sat you down and told you back then? I'm sure there were some surprises along the way.
Oh my goodness, so many. I'm not sure where to start. Probably one of the biggest things just right off the bat was just how difficult it really was going to be to break in. I mean, my running joke was, "What do I need a crowbar? What how do I do this?"
Like
Um,
literally break
and
in. Yes.
literally break in. And people were like, well, all you have to do is break in. That's the hardest part. And I'm like, yeah, but how? Nobody gave me a step-by-step guide. But what I found out that the thing that mattered most to me was relationships. And that was something that I knew how to do. And so it was building relationships brick by brick, meeting by meeting, coffee by coffee, not letting any small interaction go without nurturing. But also the other part of that was making sure that I was good on the page, making sure that I had good quality work, making sure that once I got that opportunity, once somebody did say, hey, I'm willing to read your work, I was ready, and that was probably one of the hardest things that I knew. And just being in the right spaces with the right people. Because that's not an easy thing to do. It's hard to get in the room with some of these people who have the ability or the space to make for you, who can give you a yes, who can even make an introduction to you, for some to do something or to be something. I'll tell you this, and I know we got to go back on the questions. My problem is I talk too much.
That's girl.
um
Look. If y'all not out
mine
there taking some notes, I feel for you because she is dropping gems.
There are, one of the hardest thing, and I know we're going to talk about representation later on, so I'm not going to get into it. But when I first started, my first several jobs, I did not have representation. And that was something. coming from journalism, I mean, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was to have representation or how hard it was to get it. That was another thing that was hard. But you
Mm.
know what did work for me? Those relationships. My first several jobs all came as referrals, all came as word of mouth, all came as people who I had met, people who I had worked with, people who I had had some kind of interaction with referred me to something, including the Clark sisters. That was how I got the job and got the opportunity to write that movie. Someone referred me.
Okay. All right. I love that. I love that. I mean, and we know you're a good writer. I mean, you were a journalist for over 2 decades, right? And there a lot, a big part of that is writing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we know that you're a good writer. And of course, news writing and screenwriting, two totally different um,
Yes.
skills, right? Totally different talent. But how much, when you think about breaking into Hollywood, how much of that is talent and how much is what they say is who you know?
Well, I'll tell you, I wish I could quantify it. I almost want to say 50-50.
Mm.
When I said earlier, building relationships was something that I knew how to do. Um, with my introverted self, who'd rather sit at home and, me and Netflix or something and not be out there doing things. My previous job, I think, was one of the things that helped me the most. Having been a journalist, working in the field, I always had to go out and build relationships quick. I always had to get people to trust me quickly so that they would tell me their story. And that was a skill. I jokingly say that I produced my way into my first job because I had to be willing to go up to people, say, here's who I am, here's what I do. What do you do? And nurture those relationships. It's hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard. It doesn't come naturally to a whole lot of people, including me. It's a learned skill.
Yeah.
It does not come
Yeah.
naturally to me. But that was a big part of how I built those relationships. I didn't have a space where I could just go and people were just there, or people were looking to for me, or looking to build a relationship with me, already saying, hey, I want to help you out, I'm in this space that's nurturing. I did not have that. It was literally knocking on doors, kicking down doors in some spaces, just trying to get at people, just trying to get somebody to say, hey, here's who I am. Would you have coffee with me? Would you, talk to me? This was pre-Zoom. Um,
Right.
would you listen to anything that I have to say? It was not an easy thing, but that was huge. And so meeting those people who can help you, can refer you, who can say your name. I mean, there's that saying, your gift will make, not just saying, that's a verse, your
Mhm.
gift will make room for you. You want people to say your name in rooms that you don't enter. That happened to me several times. That was key to me
Yeah.
getting my career started. And it was because I was planting those seeds, building those relationships one by one.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And when you talk about being ready, like when people were referring you for this project and that project, I mean, and I'm a big proponent of being ready and staying ready. So much so that that's what I named my company, right? Stay ready.
Yes.
What have you seen instances where people have, maybe gotten on the brink of those opportunities, but it ended up being a lost opportunity because they weren't properly prepared and really ready for it?
Oh, I don't have to talk about people. I can talk about me. I can talk about Sylvia Jones. So here's something that happened. So one of the things, I'm going to try to make this story short. Um, I went when I left ABC 7, which was where I was working as a journalist for the last 11 years or so before I quit. I was in school at UCLA, and part of what they did, as part of my screenwriting program, they often brought in speakers to talk to us and kind of tell us the business of show. And so I would always make a point to, go up after, shake their hand, hey, I'm Sylvia Jones, the whole spiel. And I would try to get their information and try to follow up. Well, I finagled my way into a meeting with a woman at NBCU. at the time, and she was one of the people who was working with the Chicago shows, Fire, Med, and Police. And so I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. First of all, she agreed to meet with me, came to, to the NBC headquarters. I'm trying to talk my way into one of those shows. I'm like, me and Dick Wolf, man, come on, come on, come on. I'm all about it. And so she listened to what I had to say. I'm telling her about my Chicago background and, how it would be such a perfect fit. Just, coach, put me in, give me the opportunity on one of these shows.
Yeah.
This would be great. And so she was like, well, it doesn't really work that way. The Dick Wolf people, they have a very kind of closed network. They're very specific, blah, blah, blah. You're a new writer, but, I will keep you in mind, yada, 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 whatever. So I kept in touch with her. One day, and this was I was working in the writer's room on the Shy at this time. She called me out of the blue and was like, Sylvia, I just got a call from the people on I think it was Fire. She was like, I just got a call from the people on Fire. They are looking for a new writer, a new entry-level writer. I immediately thought of you. Send me your script right now so I can get it to them. And so I was like, okay. I was like, the only thing I have to warn you is my scripts, all of my scripts are comedy, because when I went to UCLA, I thought I was going to come out and be a comedy writer. So all three scripts that I had just written in school and were good were all comedy. And so I said, so is it okay? And she said, no, I can't send them a comedy. I can't send them. You have to have a drama. And because it's a drama, you have to have a show that's similar. And I'm like, well, but I've got three different, maybe they could just see, and I used to be a journalist. And she said, perhaps next time you'll be ready.
Oh, and
She
nobody
said,
wants
I
to
don't.
hear that next
Yeah,
time.
and I even asked her, I was like, well, can I just have a few weeks? She said, they're hiring now. She was like,
Now.
I want to send you on a meeting with them. I can't do. And she basically, what she was telling me, not about me, about her. She was like, I can't put my name on that. Like,
Ooh,
I can't, you can't be
there
the
you go.
person that I that they look at me and say, I recommended this person when I'm sending the wrong kind of script to them. I know
Mm,
better than that. And I was
mm,
like, okay, missed opportunity. That hurt my soul.
that
And
is,
then I
yeah.
believe in confirmation for everything. Small thing. At the same time, I got a meeting with the person who was running the show at Being Mary Jane. And I really wanted to get on that. And she said same thing. Yeah, no, I need to see a drama. This is a drama. And if you want to be a comedy writer, you need to be looking at comedy shows. I was like, but my opportunities keep coming in drama. Like I did, these things keep coming my way. And she finally told me, she said, let me tell you something. You take this advice and you do whatever you want to do with it. She said, if you came to LA to be a comedy writer and it's comedy or bust, like that's what you want to do in your soul, forget everything that I'm about to tell you. You do what you need to do to be a comedy writer. She said, but I'm going to tell you, with your maturity, read age, with your work experience as a journalist, with your education, she said, comedy will take you, they'll take
Ooh.
you as a joke writer. She said, but drama is going to call for you in a way that comedy
Mm,
never will. She said, because you just have everything you have can
yeah.
pour into a drama. She said, but
Oh,
if what you want to do is comedy, do comedy, but you're not going to do it on Being Mary Jane. Got you.
right.
I went
Yeah.
home that day and started writing a drama, and that drama has got that particular spec has gotten me every job I've had so far in the industry.
Look, that's what I'm talking about. And you took her advice. You acted. You didn't just take notes, put it in a notebook, shove it in the drawer. You actually went
Exactly.
to action. And that is where a lot of people fail, right? We go do all this stuff and it's like, oh, I learned so much. I learned so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what
And
did you
do
do with
nothing
it?
with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because you did, look at where you are today. That right there, ooh, mic drop.
I know I talk too much. Did we exceed our
No,
time
no, that was
already?
beautiful. That was beautiful. I mean, and that is actually the perfect transition too, because we're talking about giving people advice. We're talking about being in that room and getting that access, and that is the purpose of the Sounds Like Joy writers experience. Tell us about that. What
Mhm.
do you expect people to actually get from that? What is it, and what are they going to gain?
It's everything all in one room. It is the writers experience is an intimate gathering of writers for 2 days, and it's one of those things that it's a one-stop shop. We bring everything to you. We've got producers, we've got writers, working writers who've been in writers rooms who can tell you, what that's like. Everything from how it operates to what's the etiquette. There are a lot of politics that go into writers rooms. We have actors who will be there to talk about what it's like to work with actors on set. How do you get an actor to attach to your project, which is a big deal if you're trying to sell can be a big deal if you're trying to sell a project. We have an entertainment attorney there. I get asked so many times from writers about how to protect their work. I talk to writers who don't know other people's rights, meaning that they'll come and tell me, hey, would you read this? I wrote this based on so and so's life. And I'm like, do you have life rights? Well, no, but I know. Well, are they like a famous person, or are they dead? Has it been over 100 years? Like all of those things. And they're like, well, no, it's my aunt. Did your aunt give you her life? Well, no, but no.
No,
This is not nobody's going to get
right.
sued over no matter how great the
Mhm.
story is. And so people want to know how to protect their rights. So we have an entertainment attorney coming. We have a number of people who are novelists, who are authors. Either they've written a book or they're writing a book and they want to see how to turn into how to get it to the screen, or they're trying to figure out how to get published. Should they self-publish? Should they try to chase a traditional publisher? We have someone coming who is an author of 8 books and just signed another 2-book deal, and who works in publishing, and who is going to give us all of that. We have a manager who's coming from one of the top, coming in from LA, from one of the top management companies in Hollywood, who's going to talk to us about getting representation, how to manage your manager, how
Mm.
to, those kinds of things. I mean, and I'm not even exhausting the list. We'll talk about pitching. We'll talk about taking notes, like all of those kinds of things. Like, really, when I created this, I thought about all of the things that I didn't know and wish somebody would have told me, so that I didn't have to bump my
Mhm.
head. My head is hard, but I'll nearly cracked it sometimes,
Right.
bumping it so hard. Learning lessons the hard way. When if somebody would have just told me,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
might have been a little easier. And so that was one of the reasons that I created what I wish I would have had myself, so that someone who is either trying to break in or even thinking about it, this is the opportunity, that you don't have to go out, you don't have to run out to LA and chase it. I'm bringing LA to you,
Hmm.
right here in Chicago. And people come from all, I mean, I think our person furthest away came from Alaska
Alaska. I remember. Yeah.
at this point.
And here's
But
and here's the thing, guys. We even had people come to Chicago from LA, right? It's
exactly,
like
from
that
LA,
that is just how unique and how powerful this event is. You think, LA is it's Hollywood. That is the movie capital. They came from LA to Chicago to be in this room because this was so special and so unique and so powerful.
and they repeatedly say nothing like this exists in LA. And I purposely hold it in Chicago, one, because Chicago is my beloved city, but also because it's centrally located. So you can get here easily from anywhere. But it's kind of my love letter to writers, and to career changers, and to those people who don't fit the mold of what they think a TV writer is supposed to look like. Because I promise you, when I came out, I was none of the things. And
None
yet
of the
here I am. I was none of the things. I was none of the things that you think you're supposed to be. I was none of them. And
Yeah.
here I am.
And look at you now. I mean, working on projects with Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, Ava DuVernay. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
Clark sisters. I mean, and working on a huge project right now. Can't say what it is, but I'm telling y'all,
I
it's
wish I could talk about
big.
it.
It's big. It's big. It's big. And so,
It's so much fun.
you need to come and be in this room and get all the tea. We live in a time and a place now where everybody is a gatekeeper. And I'll tell you guys, Sylvia is so open. And the reason that she created this event is because she doesn't want to be a gatekeeper and doesn't have to be a
Mm-mm.
gatekeeper. You are
Mm-mm.
not going to get this information anywhere else. And to be in the room with the people who literally have the power to change your life. People in this room have
Mm-hmm.
written scripts and literally had their scripts because of Sylvia, had their scripts put
Mm-hmm.
into the hands of Hollywood producers. Where they do that at?
Absolutely. Right. Producers, agents, managers, all of that. And a number of people have now built relationships with those producers, agents, managers, et cetera, because of coming here and building those relationships. And I'm telling you, you build relationships before you need them. I mean, you
Yes,
just never
yes,
know when you're
absolutely.
going to get that call. And wait, and I
Absolutely.
still haven't been able to get a job on Chicago Fire. I still haven't.
Well, look, they're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, wait a minute, we forgot to call her. We're gonna get you that look with all the stuff that you've
But
done.
that was my lesson, because you know what?
Yes,
I wasn't ready. I
that's right.
wasn't ready.
You weren't
But
ready. Yeah,
you know,
this is going to get y'all ready. You need to be in this room. I'm telling you, there is nothing like it. Um, for what you pay for these tickets, you are going to get back 10 times if you just do the work. Like, don't come and take
hmm
notes. Come, build those relationships, take the notes, but then implement, actually do the work.
exactly. Exactly.
You got to do the work.
Exactly.
Before we jump, we did have one question from one of our viewers. So again, if you guys are here, drop the question in the chat. We will answer your question. We're gonna be coming back again on Monday because this is so good. But the question from Angela was, how do you know if your project is fit for theater or the big screen, and what's the difference in the process?
And by theater, do you get the impression that she means the stage, or theater
Yes,
as in the movie theater?
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she thinking, is it the stage or is it a play or is it a movie?
It depends on how she creates it. She's the creator and she's in control of that. Those two things are very different pieces of writing. Um, Both, I mean, if she's talking about a movie though, I mean, the one things that they share in common is three acts. It's a beginning, it's a middle, and it's an end. It's an end. It's a whole complete package. But how she, as a creator, as a writer, envisions it and wants to see it makes all the difference in the world. And I don't know if she's most comfortable as a writer, as a playwright, and wants to see it on the stage, or
Mm,
if she wants to see it, on the screen. But it also, I'll also say it, and again, this is knowing nothing about her subject matter or whatever. Um, it depends on how evolved it is as well. I mean, because you can put a one woman show on a
mhm,
stage, you know you can put, you
mhm,
can do something with limited characters, limited um uh stage pieces, all of that kind of thing on a stage, or you can have something huge like a Wicked or a Lion King. I mean, it could go either way. The movie, I would say, if it's on the screen, you're gonna the one woman, unless you're a stand-up comic, the one woman show model doesn't necessarily fly for that. So without knowing what her specific project is, I can't give her a definitive answer. But I will say, look within yourself, and however you feel comfortable writing it, that's probably the way it should go.
Okay, I love that. I love that. And also at the retreat, we're also going to have somebody there who works in unscripted and vertical. So
Absolutely.
even if you're not thinking about, doing a big Hollywood production, there's so many opportunities out there that, the people are going to be in the room who have the power to help you. So
It's very
get
true.
your tickets. So how do people get tickets? Now they've listened to this. They're like, oh, look, I don't know what I don't know. I need to be in this room to meet these people, to get this information, to get this access, get my scripts handed to these people who actually have the power to put my movie on the screen. And how do I get my tickets?
Yes. Go to the website, soundslikejoyproductions.com. soundslikejoyproductions.com. And I'm so glad you brought up the unscripted, because even though my list of what we have was not exhausted, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because there are a lot of people who want to work in unscripted or in reality or that kind of thing. And people, I'm here to tell you, despite what you might think, that stuff does not write itself.
Right.
There are talented writers who write that material, who guide it along, who produce it, who make it happen, whatever. And there are opportunities there. And we will have someone who has worked in that industry for quite some time and can tell you the ins and outs, and who knows, maybe even offer a hookup. I ain't say that. I'm just saying.
Never know. Well, and you would recall from last year, right? We had a producer who was a producer in unscripted. He was so forthcoming with information to the point where he was
Absolutely.
like, "Y'all call me," and he stood there and gave out
Yeah.
his personal cell
I
phone
was like,
number.
you're really giving out your phone
He
number like
literally
that? He's
gave,
like, yes, I want to help people. Call me. I was like,
yes,
okay, all right.
and
Okay,
he
if you get
stood
crank
there
calls, don't
after the
blame me.
retreat. That's right. And remember, he stood there and answered questions. I mean, the retreat, we were like ready to go and lock the doors. He was still standing there
He was still
talking to
talking.
people, answering questions. You ain't
Yes.
gonna get this no place else.
You're not. And I think the reason, and you know, he wasn't the only one. I think the reason for that is, first of all, I've leveraged my personal relationships in order to curate this event. The people who are there as speakers, they want to be there. They want to help the
Yes,
next generation of writers. They want to be a resource. They want to help lift as they climb. So these are not people who have their nose stuck in the air like, "Oh, don't touch me.
right. Mhm.
I'm all of this." They are people who are like, "What's your next question? How can I help you?
Mhm.
Here's my email address. Here's my matter of fact, one of our writers did that too. And here's my
Yeah,
take it. I think all of them did that. All of them were like, here, take my
yeah,
email address. If you have further questions after this, if you need whatever, this is a time to build relationships. And the thing about it is, the reason we can do that is because we keep this small. Like, it's
yeah,
intimate. It's not, you don't have to stand in line to get people, or think that,
right.
I can't go and talk to these people. They may be sitting at your lunch table.
That's
I
right.
mean, all of these people really are here to talk to people and to get to know them. They're there for a reason, and enthusiastically. So that's that.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Oh,
I
love it.
know I talk too
Love it.
much.
No, it's wonderful, girl. We are just eating it up, eating it up. I'm so appreciative of you for doing this. And this has been amazing. And so, guys, we're going to spring a surprise on you. We're going to do one more. We're going to do one more live stream. And I know this has been a lot. If you have not caught the first one, if you're watching this one, please go back and watch day one. It was so powerful and so good. So please go back and watch that. And we will do a third live stream on Monday. So we're gonna give y'all a couple of days and give you the weekend just to consume all of this good stuff, because this is goodness, this is juicy. And then come back on Monday. If you have questions before then, drop them in the comments. We're gonna leave space on Monday to answer some of your questions as well. And get your tickets. And like Sylvia said, this is a small event. So when those tickets are gone, they are gone. We're not going to
Yeah,
be like, oh,
yeah,
oh, I didn't know it was. No, 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 no. The event is
yeah.
happening September 10th and 11th. Don't
Mm-hmm.
try and buy your ticket on September 9th, okay? Because we
Yeah,
know
because
how
it'll be cut off by then.
it will be gone. Them tickets will be gone.
Yeah,
So please go get your tickets. If you have
yeah. Get it
questions or
now.
get it now, right? Get it. And the other
Mm-hmm.
thing is too, guys, we also curate it to the point where we feed you. You're gonna have some good food. So we need to know how many people are
Gourmet,
gonna be in the room.
private
Gourmet
chef.
food. Like seriously, this is
We treat our
we have
writers well.
we treat them well. So you guys need to be in
Mm-hmm.
that room. We've got some other, secret stuff that we're gonna spring on y'all. But for now, go get that ticket. I guarantee you, you will get your money's worth and then some, and you will have Sylvia to thank for your successful television or movie career, because she's curating this special room. So soundslikejoyproductions.com. Go there. And Monday we might even talk about some of the opportunities that people have gotten from being
Mm-hmm.
in this room. Like, this is no
Mm-hmm.
joke. We're not talking about
Mm-hmm.
little stuff. They've gotten some big stuff. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
talk about that a little bit on Monday too, and hopefully you will see yourself in them. I hope you've gotten
Mhm.
a lot from Sylvia's journey. Sylvia, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure is
And
mine.
you're amazing. We are so grateful. So yeah, guys, put your questions in the chat, in the comments, and we'll be back on Monday. So share
Okay.
this. If you know someone who says, "Oh, I have a dream of being a writer one day. I want to write a movie. I want to work on a TV show. I want to do this stuff." Send them this live stream. Just send it to them, and then go to that
Mhm.
website and get your tickets. Because I guarantee you, them tickets are gonna be gone if you mess around. Y'all can play with me if you want
Mhm.
to. Go get the tickets.
They don't realize when we say small, we say small. This is
When we
very
say small, we say
individualized.
small. That's right.
Yeah.
And there's a reason we keep
Mhm.
it small. When we have this kind of access, where you got Hollywood producers,
Yes.
managers giving you their
Yes.
cell phone number, it ain't gonna be
Yeah.
1,500 people in the room. It ain't gonna be
Right.
100
We
people in the
believe in
room.
going deep, not wide.
That's right. That's right. So this is special, and you are special, Sylvia. Thank you so much. So,
Thank
guys,
you.
we gone. Go enjoy
We
your
go.
evening. Look, Sylvia, you need to go out somewhere because you look so beautiful. The face is just glowing. You need to go out somewhere because all this can't go to waste just on this live stream. Where we going? Where we going
Let's
tonight?
let's get off the live stream, then we'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
and then we gonna see where we going. All right, y'all, we out of here.
Bye.